Just take a look around. Heaven is on the ground. But if we don't slow down, we'll never
Roses by Stars Go Dim. That is the title track of Stars Go Dim's newest album and the name of the tour. It's the Roses Tour, and it's coming to International Falls February 12th. That is about 2 weeks away. Don't delay getting your tickets. But today we have a very special guest. Stars Go Dim's own Chris Cleveland joins us. Welcome, Chris. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to coming up and seeing y'all soon.
Have you been this far north before?
I have been further north. However, you guys are, it's basically Canada.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just go right across the river and you're in Canada. So,
Well, I'm excited. I've never been to International Falls before, so I did look it up on the map.
So you saw that we're called the Icebox of the Nation? And you're still willing to come? You're still willing to come?
I'm sure there's still some really great people there, even though they're cold. You know what I mean? And so I'm willing to go anywhere.
Oh, well, we appreciate it. And yes, I'm sure we'll have a bunch of Canadians join us as well. So it's going to be a good time. Chris, for those of us who, not those of us, but those who don't know you or aren't familiar with Stars Go Dim, I'd love to just find out a little bit about you, your music background, and then we'll talk about what to expect at the concert.
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up in Oklahoma. My parents were musicians and worship leaders and, youth ministers and pastors and kind of people all over. And so I grew up in a church where it was kind of my life. And somehow now I've been touring and playing music for over 30 years. I started when I was 10 years old,
Wow.
traveling to little churches and playing. And here I am kind of still doing the same thing somehow. And so a lot of your listeners may have heard me first. About 10 years ago, I released a song called You Are Loved. That was a really big song in the U.S. and kind of all over. And I've been releasing, Christian music ever since. And so there's probably a handful of songs that you guys may know from me. But I know that Christian music fans, they're my favorite people because they love Christian music, and sometimes they don't have a clue who we are. So a lot of people, they show up to our shows and they're like, oh, I know that song. I know that song. I had no idea who you were before you came, but I know these songs. And so I'm sure there'll be a little bit of that when we come up to International Falls. But it's one of my favorite things to see the realization come across their face that, oh, we actually do know each other. And we're going to have a good time that night. So I've been doing it for a long time in this space and leading worship my whole life. There was a stint I did kind of mainstream music for quite a while and toured around the world doing that. But from about 2015 to now, I've just been traveling doing this. And so it's been really fun, and I'm looking forward to come up and doing it with you.
Well, we're looking forward to it. So do you write your own songs, or is that a collaboration? How does that work?
Both. I do both. My latest record, released an album this past summer called Roses, which is a really, really fun album for me. It's the first record that I produced myself. It's kind of a throwback record. It's very like vintage, funky 1970s vibes, and so it was really fun to make. But that record, along with all of the records I've released, are kind of a mix. There'll be some songs that I write completely by myself on them, but I collaborate quite a bit. And honestly, it's one of my favorite things to do because sometimes collaboration just makes it better. And so I write songs in a lot of different ways. I actually write kind of all the time and write for other artists and have songs that you guys might know, from other artists that are out there that I've written with them. So it's one of those things that I enjoy to do, not just for me, but for other people as well.
That's cool. Now, I want to go back to what you said about being a pastor's kid and in ministry from a young age. Did you ever? Well, I guess my question is, what would be your testimony then? What was your journey of actually making your faith your own and not just your parents or your family's?
Oh gosh, it's a good question, because I think we do have like a faith inheritance, right?
Mhm.
Something we're given and sometimes don't question, which is its own path. And for me, it's been a story of like different seasons and times in my life. I think I definitely had that inheritance that I kind of walked into blindly for a long time, and then had seasons of my life where I had to take accountability and responsibility and ownership of my faith. And I think I've seen that in a lot of different ways. You know, when I started becoming kind of old enough to think and have kind of critical thinking skills and those things, and ask questions and figure that out for myself. When I left high school into college and figured that out, and then in adulthood, and then getting married and starting a family, it's a whole other thing. And then I think I hit 30 and was like, I don't think I know anything. I've got to tear this whole thing down and figure it out again. And now in my 40s, I really like to answer this question as like, man, it's still a daily thing for me of finding where Jesus is working in my life and joining him in that. And I think my days now look more like knowing that Jesus is with me all the time, kind of no matter what. And my job is not to do something crazy that like impresses God, but my job is just to meet him where he is. And it's a really interesting practice to kind of practice the presence of Jesus. And it changes kind of everything. And so the last really handful of years of my life, my testimony in that has been me just leaning into that fact and trying to find God in all of the simple, like small places in life, because that's where I really think he works the most.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I wonder, as you are in full-time Christian ministry, do you ever find it, or what is a practice that maybe you do to keep it from becoming just a business or something you just have to do, and we're doing this again and again? But how do you keep him at the center of your focus and still keep that, I guess, ministry focus as you're doing the traveling and the being away from home and doing your concerts?
I think that's huge, honestly. And a lot of people have different ways that they do it. I mean, a recent one for me is I just got off of social media completely. I mean, probably in the fall of this past year in 25, it just wasn't doing anything for me. And it wasn't, even in all of the Christian spaces, it just didn't feel uplifting at all. And I was like, man, I'm getting drug into places I don't want to be. I need to get rid of this thing. And with that, there's some things like, I mean, a lot of our business and the things of this revolve around that. And it's been really freeing for me to kind of release that in a way and just focus on real life. And so for me, for the last couple of years, that's what I've really been trying to lean into. And what I said is I try to practice this presence of God each day in the small things that really grounds me into like life that's actually important. My family, like what's actually going on in my community with my friends. And I think it's important to be able to cultivate that community around you that does both challenge you, but also uplifts you in that space. And over the past, probably since COVID, I think my family and I have kind of relentlessly pursued that, and it's been really nice for us. It's caused some disconnect for us in kind of culture, I think. And what I mean by culture, I include like Christian culture in that, because I think it can be just as divisive as somebody might say like a worldly culture can be at times. And so I try to focus on the things that are important, the things that I can control, my relationships, my faith, and that tends to ground me in ways that just didn't when I didn't live that way. And the fruit of my life, I feel like, winds up being a lot better, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So that's what works for me at the time. It's not what might work for everyone, but it's been a good practice for me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like when you're listening to the Lord and for the sensitivity to Him and what He's leading you to do, then that's what's going to work. So yeah. You mentioned your family. You have kids.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids. My wife and I, we've been married 14 years. My gosh. And so I've got a 7th grader, a 6th grader, and a 4th grader. So life is really fun. This last year, it's just like games and plays and practices every night. So I haven't been on the road a lot. I've been kind of leaning into that. So this is my first trip to come up and see you guys this year. And hopefully I'm not going to miss too many basketball games or play practices. But that's where we are in life. It's really, really fun. And so I'm trying to find a balance in all of that with what I do and kind of where my family's at.
Yeah, I can imagine that is a balancing act to try to figure out what's most important and how can you make that work on both ends.
Absolutely.
Of how God's called you. So, well, we are looking forward to having you in International Falls in just a few weeks. And Stars Go Dim along with Evan Egger and Presence Music. Now, I know you've been up to Minnesota before. And we're going to have you all the way up here up north, and hopefully it will not be too cold for you.
I can handle it.
Have you ever been ice fishing?
I have gazed upon the activity of ice fishing from afar. I've even walked out on Lake Michigan while it's frozen over, maybe like 30 feet, but I just don't trust it. Okay. Back where I'm from, if there's ice on something and you step on it, you're going to fall through.
Yeah.
And these people are driving houses out there. I don't get it. Y'all are crazy, but good for you. Good for you.
This is true. This is true. All right, so what could we expect at a Stars Go Dim concert, and who should come?
Everybody should come. This is going to be fun. Even if you don't recognize the name, I promise you there's going to be songs that you know. We've got a great kind of local band. Presence Music is from up in that area that are going to open up. Another friend of mine, Evan Egger, will be there, and he is really fun, a Latin artist. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to play some songs that I know you're going to know from the radio. I'm going to play some brand new songs that maybe you haven't heard. But we're going to sing together. We're going to laugh together. We're going to enjoy each other's company, and just worship a little bit. And so, if you don't have anything else going on, I don't know what's going on in International Falls on the 12th, but there can't be that much. So you guys come out, hang out with us. We're going to have a really great time.
Very fun. Well, we're looking forward to it. And is there anything else you'd like to say to folks before we wrap up?
No, I'd love to see you. If you'd like to follow me, you can check out everything on the internet. I've got Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all the things. You can follow us at Stars Go Dim and kind of see what you get yourself into. But I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys.
All right. Well, Chris Cleveland of Stars Go Dim, he'll be here February 12th in International Falls at Evangelical Covenant Church. You can get the details at psalmfm.org, and we look forward to having you join us. Chris, thank you so much.
You bet. Thank y'all.
Just take a look around. Heaven is on the ground. But if we don't slow down, we'll never notice miracles rising up, growing inside of us. Maybe it's time to stop and smell the roses. Smell the roses.
Music lovers, listen up. This is for you. Stars Go Dim is bringing the Roses Tour to International Falls on February 12th.
Thank God for another new sunrise. Thank God for every single breath inside. There's not anything I'm gonna let steal my joy. Let steal my joy.
It's a night of music to encourage, uplift, and remind you of God's love.
I speak to the brokenness, wholeness in the name of
Don't miss Stars Go Dim, the Roses Tour with special guests Evan Edger and Presence Music, Thursday, February 12th at Evangelical Covenant Church in International Falls.
Yes, he does. Still heal the broken, walk to the hurting, pour out his love. Yes, he does.
Come be part of this special night with Stars Go Dim presented by Thrive Productions. Get ticket information at PsalmFM.org.